welcome to Angelic Alchemy. I'm your host, Amanda. Today I want to talk about a few things. Mainly, I want to talk about just how we're feeling, ascension symptoms, and I guess kind of like the purpose. This is Archie. We are chilling because it is really cold outside. We just like looking out the window. I have a lot of trees in my front yard.
Battery low.
I was trying to play some music for us this morning, but I didn't charge it. And it won't let me play the music and record at the same time. You getting sleepy? He was running around this morning, deciding if he wanted to go outside or not, but now he's just chilling in my lap, which is fine because he's keeping me warm too. He'll just lay there. I haven't been feeling a lot of anger stir up in me, but last summer I really opened up my anger aspect and learned who she was about, what she was about, and her purpose in my life. And I really love Angry Amanda. Angry Amanda never comes out. She never has a reason to come out. She never really gets angry. But she gets angry at things like injustices and people taking advantage of other people and people hurting other people. She'll come out and she'll demand justice. But she's very, very loyal to that justice system. And I just love her. I used to not understand Angry Amanda. Mainly because every time I did get angry, it would just make me cry. I don't get mad and I don't lash out on people. But if I did, it would probably be in a crying mode, not in a angry, belligerent mode. So I've really come to terms with Angry Amanda, and if your angry aspect is coming out in you, try to understand her. Try to understand where she's coming from and what she's about, because she's here to teach you a little bit about yourself. So I wanted to talk a little bit about like our emotions. There are several different emotions that play into like the 7 deadly sins. And I believe that they're not deadly and they're not sinful. They are just emotions that we need to dive into. We need to figure out who we are within those aspects. So the more emotions that we understand about ourselves, we'll understand a little bit more of who we are and our purpose in life. Because you can't really figure out who you are, you can't really figure out what your purpose is until you figure out who you are within all of those aspects. So the angry me, okay? She's quite beautiful because she doesn't get angry and hurt people. She gets angry when people get hurt. So that's good to know about myself. But if I was that person that lashed out on people and hurt people's feelings just because I was mad, then I would know that I needed to work on myself. I would know that I needed to work on my triggers. Triggers are the things that you get mad at. And triggers are there to teach you more about yourself than what is actually triggering you. And it's not the details that trigger you. So it's not the person that triggers you, and it's not the thing that triggers you. It's your energy inside of you that is triggered and wants to respond and see that detail in a different perspective. So it's all about your perspective. And we all have our own perspectives. And that is the most beautiful thing on this planet, is that we all have different perspectives, but we're all on the same human field. We're all in the same frequency, even though we all have different perspectives, which all should be honored. So just like anger, you have things that help you. What's one of the other ones? Gluttony. I was trying to find a different word than gluttony. I don't like that word. So we tend to overeat or overindulge in certain things. You don't have to be an overeater to be gluttony. You can drink too much coffee. You can hoard too much things. You can, there's different ways than just eating. But we want to stay healthy, and we shouldn't use things like those words to hold us back or to avoid to get us somewhere in life. Because if you avoid all of those things, where is that going to lead you? You need to know all of these emotions. You need to know if the sadness in you is a deep-rooted sadness that needs to be healed, or is it just common sadnesses because of the way our society is, the way that we've been brought up and the way that we've been living? Because you can still have sad feelings and not be a sad or saddened person. So when you go through your awakening and your healing journey, you need to identify these all of these emotions and what these aspects are trying to teach you, how you play into these aspects. Like, I have a natural reaction to become sad when things are injustice, rather than getting mad. I will initially feel a great sadness about it, but again, that's teaching me something about myself. And that doesn't mean that I'm a sad person. That doesn't mean I have a bunch of sadness inside of me. Clairvoyance can see energy, see your auras and stuff like that. And I have a very clear green aura. So a lot of the things that did make me really sad or traumatized, I have worked through them. And I'm still working on some emotions, but overall, I've forgiven all parties and have moved on energetically. But sometimes when we move along too fastly energetically, our body takes a little while to get that message. So say back in July or something, I started healing and embracing angry Amanda. And I didn't grasp it until a couple of days ago. ever since winter started, I've been getting a bunch of epiphanies and breakthroughs of why I'm here, why I chose to learn some of the things I chose to learn, and you know, putting it all together. And I think winter is the space where we do get all of those. Um, all throughout our year, we are embracing the seasons and their energies, and we're learning, and it's growing and guiding us at the same time. And we don't actually integrate them until winter. And if you're sensitive, then you'll pick up on it. I know you're so sleepy. Um, so, whatever you're going through, try to approach it like you are discovering something amazing about yourself, because the more you discover about yourself, the more you become self-aware. And I'm really trying to grow self-awareness so that people can enter their heart space. Because if you don't know who you are and you go into your heart space with all of these emotions and all these traumas and all of these lessons that you haven't integrated, it's going to be really emotional. And if you are too sensitive, it could overwhelm you like it did me. I was so overwhelmed because I didn't know anything when I jumped into my awakening. And I didn't have anyone. And it was hard. It was really hard. I remember back in the summer when Angry Amanda awakened, she destroyed everything. I threw everything off of my walls, my certificates, my books, my crystals, everything. I just threw them down, and I was so angry that nobody understood me. So here I am. I created a home. I have a husband and 2 kids and this beautiful life, and nobody knew the real me. And so I tried to express that. So I got my certificates October 2019, and I launched a business, a little online business called Love and Lavender. And he yawns like that. I know you're sleepy. Take a nap. You can lay down. If I put him down, he'll just run around and try to jump back up. So I don't know why he won't just sleep. He just keeps looking out the window. Now I don't know what I was talking about. What was I talking about? So I got my certificates October 2019. Launched a small little online business with my Reiki sessions, some other intuitive healings that I kind of evolved into during my Reiki sessions. And I made the big mistake of trusting people who were always questioning me, and mostly family. And it didn't go so well. It was really thrown back in my face, and I was mocked, and I don't know, it just didn't go over well with my family. not my husband and my kids, like the family I grew up in. The reason why I woke up from the pain and the suffering. So, if you are that person in your family who is always ridiculed for your different ideas and different feelings, and you're too sensitive and you're too loving and you need too much love and whatever, then you were probably born on a frequency of love, which is divine and godly. And people don't like that here on this planet, which also bothers me because I chose to come back and help this planet out. And you get stuffed, you know? You get stuffed in a little box, whether the box is labeled mental or conspiracy theorist, or what else do they call people who speak their truth? Liars. Yeah, that's another one. So, not honoring someone's truth hurts my feelings. And maybe I don't honor a lot of people's truth, especially if it contradicts mine or goes against my beliefs about unconditional love and like putting up boundaries. And I want people to understand there are healthy boundaries. There are. If you have toxic people around you. But if you are a spiritual lover of this planet, then help out other spiritual people, even if they're not where you are. So I got really angry and I destroyed my room. And I left it there for a week because I was really proud of myself, because I've never let that much anger out. I don't think I've ever let anger out, actually. And I usually just sew up and will cry about it until until I'm done feeling that emotion. And because it's never actually finalized, it will recycle and come back around. And anything that happens out there in society that is unjust will stir up that emotion as well. So it's never like finalized. You'll always feel it because that's what this planet is about, feeling everything and harnessing that. So, and I took pictures of it. I was really proud. I showed all my friends and I was like, yeah, I got really mad and I threw shit. And it felt good. And I didn't pick it up. And I didn't feel bad either. Eventually I did pick it up, but not for that week. I just like to stare at it because I had embraced something brand new to me. I had embraced something that I used to shun. And we don't need to shun our anger unless, not like shun it, but we don't need to lash it out onto other people. So if you are feeling hurt and triggered by something, ask yourself what this trigger is trying to teach me. Is this trigger something that I just see as unjust? Or is this trigger trying to show me that I have something I need to work on? So you always want to ask yourself stuff like that when it comes to emotions, and especially those heightened emotions that want to get a reaction out of you. Remember, it's not okay to joke around and mock people. When you express a mockery of other people in your reality, that is telling you, your higher self, your angels, and your team that you are not ready, that you are not mature enough. And we need you ready. We need you mature. We need you here for humanity. Um, when you joke, and I know a lot of parents who think it's really funny to call their kids names and stupid and stuff, and that is really, 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 really not okay. Um, I don't care how funny you think it is. Our physical bodies and our emotional bodies do not pick up on jokes. So if you say you are stupid and you're thinking it's just a joke, it's funny, but when you tell someone you're stupid, that their energy body and their physical body takes that in as reality, not a joke. So you think it's funny, but our bodies do not. Our bodies take it as literal. So if you are one of those parents who'd like to joke around and call your kids stupid, or they're not gonna whatever, that is embedding into their psyche. They're going to believe that for the rest of their lives, and they will have that energy hover over them every time they're around you. And they will feel different away from you. They will feel more themselves, more open, because they don't have that perception clouded over them. So, there are parents out there who do this to their children. And I see what it does to them. And it hurts my feelings. But I can't just go up to that mom and say, hey, stop calling your son stupid. This is ridiculous. Because they've been doing that their whole life. And that's normal in their home. So if I was to go and say, hey, that's wrong, and point my finger and say, that's wrong, you can't do that, that's going to create shame. That's going to create guilt. And that'll lead to another trauma. And possibly anger, because some people won't respond as loving as your approach was or might have been. People around here would straight up want to fight you or something. You know, they'd want to go straight to physical harm. So what do you do when you see stuff like that? You have to honor their life, their way of living. You have to honor that. You can pray that they seek higher guidance, which is always something I prefer to do. Just ask Source or God or whoever you pray to that they find guidance. Because we're all connected. We're all connected. So my parenting beliefs, their parenting beliefs are very different, and it's okay. Because we're all connected. We all need a different perspective. We all have different perspectives, and we should honor those. But if you are an energy worker, a light worker, a starseed, someone who is here for humanity, an earth dweller who is a steward, and whoever else is out there listening, watching, relating, if this is resonating, comment, let me know. Let me know how you feel about the parenting and the name calling and the joking. Jokes can be funny when they're not making fun of other people. Get it? If I was to joke around with my daughter and say, girl, you're so ugly, what would that do to her self-esteem? So imagine if you're telling your son he's stupid. What is that doing to their self-esteem? How are they going to believe in themselves? Come on, parents. I want you to know, no matter what I talk about on here, I love you all. I truly do. And it fascinates me how we all can be here connected and have completely different perspectives and completely different realities based on our belief systems. And I do feel my way through everything. And how I learn my feelings are through judging them. So I will judge, but not in a judgmental way, not in a negative judge, just a judgment of coming from my pure heart space judgment. Does it do harm? Is my first question. So is it doing any kind of harm energetically, physically, mentally, in anything? That would be my first question. And probably my only question. I just believe thou shalt not do any harm in any way, physical or not. Self-harm. Self-harm is another thing that everyone does. You're self-harming when you are lashing out on other people. You're self-harming when you are sabotaging your relationships with others by not feeling those aspects within yourself. So it's good to figure out what your triggers are. And if you need help finding your triggers, talk to me. Because I've watched patterns my whole life. And I never knew what I was observing until now. Like, you know, you have those people that love watching other people, and they'll like post it on their Facebook. Observing people watching, and when they're sitting there with their popcorn and eating. Well, I don't do that, because I don't do that to snicker and mock or judge them. I watch to see what I can learn. I learn through other people's experiences as well, because that's the empath in me, physical open empath. There are many different types of empaths. Physical open empaths are the ones that just receive it all. You will feel other people's emotions. If someone gets hurt, you will feel their physical pain. I remember I was working real closely with this teacher, and I'd actually merged energies with her because she too was an empath, and we became really close. And she burned her arm one night, and I was on the couch with my husband, and I looked down at my arm, and I was like, my arm is burning. Something is burning on my arm. It feels like I just burnt my arm with like a stove or something, in the oven or something. And this was before I did energy work. This is before I even knew what energy work was. This is before I took my mediumship class, before I took my psychic class and my Reiki courses and my life coach course, stuff like this. All before all of that. This is when I was a substitute teacher. Yeah. And I was noticing I was feeling other people's pain. I went to work the next day, and she said she had her arm wrapped up, and she said that she had she was boiling something or cooking something, and the pan tipped over and got on her arm. So she had some nasty burns. She had to go to the hospital and everything, and I was feeling it. And I couldn't tell anyone that. I mean, I told her because she received it well. She knew about things like that. But there's a lot of people who don't. And if you're one of those people and you look around and you don't have anyone that would understand you, reach out to me. I'll listen. The last thing I want you to do is feel alone, because that is the biggest illusion on this planet is that we're alone, because we're not. There are millions of people waking up and seeing their angels, seeing their guides or whoever's on their A team. I work a lot with the angels, the angelic realm, because that's what I feel inside. And that's who always comes through. Anytime I have a reading or someone doing some type of energy work on me, it's either Archangel Michael, Archangel Metatron, or someone who has worked with those two. I want to say my grandmother is, I was really close with my great-grandmother, but I'm not sure. I get feelings, but I haven't seen her clearly. So I think I doubt myself a lot. I think I am clairvoyant. I just doubt myself. I doubt the visions. I doubt like the little flashes. And since I'm a feeler and a knower, some things just can't be explained. They're just here. They're just given to me, and they're here for me to figure out. And I share them with you. This is my truth. You know, if this doesn't resonate with you, find another channel. It's not going to hurt my feelings. I just need to express myself. And my guides are hounding me to make these videos and to write. And since my hands don't want to cooperate with my heart space and my throat chakra to release my writings, I'm going to video and talk until I get something out that inspires me. Which they're probably just doing this to me so that I can get out of my comfort zone, and that'll help raise my vibrations. Because if we're not raising our vibrations, we're getting stuck in those lower vibrations, and those are patterns that we're trying to break. And if we're not breaking those lower patterns, then look, we're going to get frustrated and we're going to bite somebody. So you might want to listen to Archie. He did not fall asleep, so now he's ornery. No, he's just playing. He's still a puppy. But seriously, like, everything in your reality is a mirror and reflects everything that is on your inside. So connecting with yourself is connecting with divine love. And you have to be right here to feel it. You have to be right here in this space, because only from this space are you going to exude love, compassion, and unconditionality, if that's even a word. Well, we can make up words, that's fine. So being unconditional isn't like taking all the it isn't like taking all the conditions out. Like, I don't want people to be completely unconditional, because maybe that can lead to people taking advantage of you and stuff like that. So you do need some boundaries. You do need some of that. But don't ever let those boundaries keep you from creating some type of harmony in someone else's life. And if it does, you need to ask yourself, what is this boundary actually here for? And adjust it accordingly. Consciousness, awareness is what I want people to wake up to. We're more than just our thoughts. And you know, I just did like this this little workshop, this little webinar thing, and they were doing studies about people who don't realize they have an inner dialogue, and they just go about their lives doing things without that inner thinking. And that kind of threw me off for a second, and it kind of had me wrap around my perspective, because I didn't realize some people don't have that. Like, I'm always in my head. There's always my subconscious talking, or my ego talking. Like, there's always, I can kind of decipher which is which just depending on their energy and how they're speaking. So you always have that one voice that is defending, and that one voice that is questioning. But then you should have a third voice from the back looking in on those two perspectives. So it should be three distinct ones. But then you also have your emotional body, your physical body. I don't know, and some other ones. I think there's actually 6. I forgot who told me that. But you should be aware of all of these voices. You should be aware of how you interact with them, which one you're feeding the most. And if you can get out of that quarrel and into that third perspective, that's where you're going to gain a lot more clarity, because you're taking yourself out of that situation and you're looking at it from a higher perspective. So when you take your emotions out of whatever you're going through and you step back from it, you'll be able to see that it's not those details that keep you so worried that's in your mental head. It's actually the core emotion that stemmed from that. So whatever emotion that displayed outward in your reality that caused an inward reaction, that's where you need to find your connection. That's where you're going to find your lesson. Let me give you an example. Say my husband gets angry with me for how do I say this? Say he gets angry with me because I launched my business without telling him. And he starts yelling at me and pointing his finger and just letting me have it. This really never happened, but I'm just trying to make up a scenario. So I took one of my liberties of being a sovereign person and creating my own business and launching it. And he gets mad at that over details like, you should have let me know, I want to support you, or stuff like, your business is not what I thought it should be, or you shouldn't be doing that, or whatever the details are, because the details do not matter. Okay, I'm going to repeat that. The details of any situation does not matter. It's not the fact that he said this or they said that or whatever. It's the energy behind it. So if he got offended that I launched a business, then his trigger would be him not creating his own sovereignty. So you see where I was displaying my sovereignty, but he holds his in. So his trigger was to react about the details, to hurt my feelings, to take that sovereignty, that sovereign energy away from me, because he wants it, but he's not doing it himself. So he wants to take that from me, my happiness away from me. And they will be so intense about those details that they will forget that they love you. And they will forget that he should be happy for my sovereignty. Do you get that? If you don't understand that, reach out to me and we'll have a conversation because it's hard talking to myself. And I get really distracted with these birds out here. I want to go outside. I want the sun to be warm and sunny. Yeah, we're just a few weeks into winter, so I got a long ways. But I know this seems like a long, drug out video, which, yeah, it is. But for some reason, I don't want to turn off that square. I just want to keep talking. I want to be comfortable talking in my truth and about my truths more openly. There are a lot of things I want to talk about my business, but it's just not quite ready yet. And I'm hoping it will be by spring. There's a lot of exciting things that are unraveling with Angelic Alchemy, and the guides are always leading. So I pulled a couple of fairy cards last night, and it was saying stuff like, I'm finally free from the cage I created. Abundance is coming. Look for any ideas that are floating around that may want to be integrated from the earlier months. And that's exactly what's been going on. I have been getting a lot of ideas, and it's all been kind of coming full circle. And winter, it's like when you get really in tune with Mother Nature, it's like the energies really do affect you. And ever since winter started, ever since winter solstice, I've been getting all of these ideas about what I need to do with my future. And I didn't know how to put it all together until now. And it's like when I was going through spring and summer and fall, I was being led to all of these different things that never made sense, that never connected. I never connected them until now. And it's like they're all very, very much connected, all intertwined. And where I couldn't see that 3 months ago, I am seeing now. And it's crazy. It's like when you open up to spirit, your life becomes like a mystery, and you're the detective, you know, and they'll send you all these different signs that you need to keep up with. And if you're unaware of the signs and you don't know how to pick up on them, reach out to me. I want to help you get there. I want to help all women get there. I just haven't figured it out until now. You know, these words never came out of my mouth until now. And this moment was never in my now moment until now. So now is the time. I released bunch of fear and sadness. And I had a dream of a past life that I'm aware of, and I think I was really able to forgive. In this past life, I was murdered. I think we've all had a past life. If you're a woman and you are awakening to your divineness, then yeah, you probably were one of the ones that were murdered or burned or drowned. And if you're one of the lucky ones, you get to remember them. But I asked to remember because remembrance is what helps me heal. If I can't remember what happened, like a lot of my childhood, then how do I know to heal it? You know what I mean? But there are ways our subconscious can heal things that will erase the energies out of our physical bodies and our physical realities. I am doing a NLP therapy. It's a Tad James therapy, I think. Don't quote me on that because I could be wrong. I just started. I've only done one session, but it's with Julie Cox in New Boston, Texas. I live here in Texarkana, Texas, and it's only about 20 minutes up the road, 30 minutes up the road. And it's not like QHHT. If you've ever heard of QHHT, that's past life regression, quantum healing, hypnosis therapies. I did try that, and I would not go under. But he did say my higher self knew the answers to my questions and that I just needed to trust myself. But I would not go under, and I was so disappointed. I was like, there's another thing wrong with me, you know? But I quickly got out of that state of mind. That is a very negative mindset to have. There's nothing wrong with me. Actually, quite opposite. I am in tune with myself. I'm in tune with nature, and I don't give myself enough credit. And that's sad. But if you've always struggled with self-esteem issues and anxiety, then yeah, awakening is going to be hard. And launching your spiritual business is going to be even harder. But you don't have to do it alone like I did. I can be here for you if you need that. If you are waking up and some of what I'm saying is resonating with you or blowing your mind at the same time, reach out. I don't mind listening. I didn't have that. I didn't have anyone that would listen to me. And that'll create a sadness. And you don't want a spiritual sadness dwelling inside of you while you're awakening. You're going to get mad. You're going to get really mad at things. Because as soon as you open up that floodgate, you're going to know everything. You're going to know why this happened, why that happened. And you're not going to like the answers. And that place alone creates a dark space within the spiritual community. And it's a dark place that I wish to bring awareness to. Because when people wake up and they're full of that light, and then they start researching all these truths and start realizing all of these truths, and that how much we've been lied to, you're going to get really angry or really sad. This is not a good place to stay, because yes, you need to learn that all of that is true, and it is very harsh and cruel, but what are we going to do about it now that it's all been done? What are we going to do about it? Reminds me of a song. What are we going to do about it when it all comes undone? Resilient, I think, by Rising Appalachia. Resilient. What are we going to do about it? Yeah, okay, it is that. That's a good song. If you randomly get downloads like songs just pop into your head, that is an angel helping you, because we all identify with music, and there's so much of it out there that we can use for different scenarios and situations. Do you want down? Do you want down, Archie? Okay. Well, so the song is called Resilient, and Spirit gives me this song a lot because I need to be more resilient, you know? Song is, I am resilient, I trust the movement, negate the chaos, uplift the negative. Yeah, it's a good song. But it talks about women being at the center and all vessels open to give and receive. This is all beautiful intelligence. It's a medicine that we need to tap into. And this consciousness is going to help us reach all-time highs in humanity, which is our goal. Yep. Because we've been so stuck in this hate, in this fear-based lifestyle. And it's hard to get out of it because your body is so used to the stress. It's so used to the harmful chemicals and everything that we eat, smell, rub on, whatever. It all has something toxic in there. And America is like the breeding ground for toxicity. It doesn't have to be, but we do allow a lot of chemicals and toxics and poisons in our foods and water. Anything else they're trying to shove down our face. I'm hoping that one day people will see just how loving that they can be. How beautiful they already are. You don't have to change. You don't have to do anything. You don't even have to talk. You can just sit here and stare, and you are creating beauty as long as you feel it. You know, if you don't feel that you're beautiful, if you don't feel that you are loved, if you don't feel that you are worthy and appreciated and purposefully made, then I challenge you to start feeling yourself more. Watch my last video and work through those emotions with me. I was crying a lot and very emotional. About the events in our country, and again, I think that we put up these boundaries and they're causing separations. I know firsthand that all separation is an illusion. We do not have to fear each other. We can embrace each other. And we can love in this moment no matter what. And if you don't believe that, ask yourself, what do you believe? What do you believe is possible in the most positive way? And if you can imagine it, it can surely happen. So ask yourself. Ask yourself every day, what are you doing now that all of this is done? What are you going to do about it? Do we sit here and point blame and wait for someone to save us? For another leader figure to lead us? Or can we start leading our own lives? What is stopping us from living in that compassion? Not much that I can think of. If you stare at yourself, stare into your eyes, you will see your soul. You will see and feel your soul. And if you don't get emotional, stick with yourself longer. Keep staring until you do see it, until you do feel it. Sometimes I think that people never really truly see themselves. And they never really truly try to get to know themselves. But if you can sit with me in silence and just stare into my eyes, I can show you how to feel. Just keep staring into my eyes. If this doesn't trigger an emotion stirring up in your high heart and in your throat, let me know what it does stir up. Because we can communicate in way more ways than just vocally. So keep staring into my eyes while I send you this message. And let me know where you feel it and what messages came to mind. So I'm giving you remembrance energy. I can see it floating out of my eyes, and he probably does too. Okay, go. We are first telepathic humans. We just forgot how to communicate with our eyes and with our thoughts, intentionally anyways, because we still do it, we just don't realize it. I'm trying to trigger an emotion within you. So if you start crying, cry. It's okay. It is okay to feel it. I want you to feel it. It is really beautiful energy. Keep staring into my eyes and breathing deeply. Let all of your thoughts go. Let all of the emotions go. And just look and feel. Feel it. You are worthy. You are awake. And I validate and honor your feelings. I see it as truth. I see you as truth. And I hope you receive this transmission well. Stare until you get that daze and that soft gaze. I'm sending you remembrance from my eyes to yours. Connect with your own essence. It is beautiful. And it's been waiting for you for a really long time. Now integrate this energy that I just sent to you. And sit with yourself. And see if things don't come up that need to be heard. That inner voice. You can even stare into your own mirror, into your own eyes. Now that you've received the energy of remembrance, from my connection to yours, you can connect. Connect with yourself so that you can connect with others. So that we can all see, feel, and hear each other from our most loving heart space. I send you all love. I'll be sending more healings and remembrance energy work throughout more of my videos. I hope you sit today. I hope you sit with yourself. And I hope you get the best guidance that you can ask for. I love you all.